And then if the renting of it was a success, then we kind of had an override on some, and that could give us some extra money.
Right.
And we went along like that for a number of years, because the other rule that we got is if we, in essence, flip the property and make a big profit, we have to send all that back to the Air Force.
Oh, no. You're kidding.
No. So, and that went away with time.
Right, right.
And I think 5 years was the time. So, we were either wise or lucky, probably lucky, in the timing of the whole thing. And the Douglas Company did just a great job of renting it, and then subsequently seeing the opportunity to convert it into condos.
Sure, yes, 800
and so
condos.
They actually got very anxious to buy it so they could do the conversion work.
Right.
And so we then were able to, in essence, put it out for bid at a much different value
After that
level.
5 years passed,
And that really gave us the equity that we needed to do so much of this infrastructure.
Oh, yeah. Well, that is great. I don't think I knew that. So,
so
the house
money
really helped.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so the Air Force has really gotten, I guess the Air Force has gotten $12 or $15 million from selling the land to us over the time.
Right, right.
And, we've been able to pay that plus put in, I don't know, $25 or $30 million worth of infrastructure.
Or more, yeah.
We had money to put into the new air terminal.
I remember. And, was it $5 million? Or
10, actually.
$10 million.
And so we've got to
figure out.
We're still wondering what's going to happen there.
Right,
because we've got the nice job of dealing with that.
What you're going to do with that
funding.
$10 million. Well, speaking of that, we got about 10 minutes. And, when you think about that, of course, the excitement for y'all and for you and George Graham and General Reed, as well as now Buddy Stiers came on board not long after y'all joined.
I think Buddy joined us in about 95.
Okay, so
which was very fortunate, because with any nonprofit board, you need a good full-time manager. Absolutely. And the worst thing that can happen to you is to lose that manager.
Right.
And Buddy had experience. He'd managed other base operations while he was in the military. So he was the perfect person. We were doing a search, I remember, and Clay Britton called me up and said, "Harold, you've just got to talk to Buddy Stiers." And we about to decide to hire another fella.
Is that right?
So I think so much of what Clay says that I decided I'd talk to Buddy, and it turned out he was the ideal candidate.
Yes.
And so he's made the job of the board.
Right, being a board member much easier. Yes. He and the whole crew there, whether Sandra and Fred and, of course, Bill Hicks and Betty Ballou and even Julie Dussault formerly. Hope I'm not leaving anyone out. They had such a tremendous crew there.
They've done a great job.
All of them continuing that, knowing that over time they were working themselves out of a job. Now, you all obviously as volunteer board members, or even if there's something else in addition, but still, you all knowing that, like any board service, it'll end. But those folks working themselves out of a job, that was a tough way to start. End to end.
It was, and we worked pretty hard on, compensation packages to take some of the risk out of that. But, we got accused a lot that we were just trying to stay in business forever. But, that has never been the idea of the board. We focused on that idea of rebuilding the tax base, and particularly rebuilding the employment base. That was what the area really lost when the Air Force shut down.
And I guess with McCaffrey interest, we will finally see the realization of that.
Well, the amazing thing about McCaffrey is that one of the things we started with in the base authority is really a plan and a vision that came out of the city's effort to do planning for the whole area. That said that what they really wanted was a mixed-use, sort of new urbanism downtown area for the future of Myrtle Beach. Well, frankly, I think most of the board thought that was nuts when we started. And the really remarkable thing to me is that's exactly what we're ending up with. After a lot of ups and downs and a lot of possible developers coming in there, we've somehow found McCaffrey. 15 years ago, if you'd asked Jack Walker to describe the developer they'd like to take over the heart of the air base, it would be McCaffrey.
Oh yeah.
And I think that's just an amazing...
It is amazing. And, of course, a lot of viewers, and whether we filmed out there, had we filmed out there 10 years ago, they may have gotten a sense when you were going to meetings and you see the barracks and you see these old, essentially dilapidated, at some level, some of the buildings not in too bad shape, all with great infrastructure, but thinking, how is this going to turn into what Jack Walker and Tom Leith and any numbers of active city council persons are thinking about? And fortunately, they kept that dream alive and obviously kept motivating y'all, and it's turned into just that. Lucadia and McCaffrey, the whole crew.
It was really good to have that there, and we all on the board just kind of agreed that we would stick with that general plan.
Right.
Otherwise, we could have gotten really confused. Do we bring this sort of person and put them in the middle of the base? And we avoided the risk of really jumbling up the use out there and making a mess out of it. Mm-hmm. It really gave us a direction for the infrastructure and all that. So
Tommy Chestnut was with us on Memorial Day talking about the police training facility out there on Mustang. Of course, the Coastal Carolina Association of Realtors and Fortune Academy, Horry Georgetown Tech, the Red Cross. The expansion of tech out there has just been incredible and magnificent. And, of course, all the 800 now condos, the former Air Base housing, and to see what Robert O'Neill and Lennar and some others will be doing, and what y'all will eventually do, whether the $10 million goes into the airport, if it happens on that side of the runway, or if y'all have to figure out a way to spread that wealth around the... have you all even contemplated, or you're just going to wait and see what happens?
Well, we're still hopeful the city and the county can get together.
Yes.
And whether it's used on the east side or the west side, the money that came out of the base under the law and under the spirit of things really was supposed to go back into the base.
Sure.
So we would like to have that use for it.
Buddy always talks about the extension of Harrelson Boulevard. That's right on the border of the base, right there on the outskirts, I guess. That may or may not, of course, he's executive director of all the board, but or you're one of the 9 members of the board, but surely that's I guess a dream of some right there on the heart of the base.
I think that's probably on hold right now because if you redevelop the old terminal, then that road probably needs a different configuration.
That's right.
That's something that probably is not going to move anytime soon.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Of course, that as you talked about the public benefit conveyance, that land right in front of AVX over near J. Edwards, the fire facility, training facility, so beautiful.
There's a lot of wetlands in there. But there's also another 20 or 30 acres in there that the airport does own that could be an economic development site if we get lucky. So there's some more that can happen on some of that property.
We did not highlight, we've just got a couple of minutes, Harold, that you're the acting dean of the Wall College of Business there at Coastal Carolina University. You've got another month in that position, I guess.
Yeah, that's been a great experience, too. I had been doing some volunteer work there with the Wall College, and when Dave DeCenzo got promoted, he asked me to step in and sort of keep, particularly the development work, sort of keep the momentum there. And it's just been a joy for me to be connected with those kids. There's so much potential and so much energy in those young people to see what they can accomplish and what they're likely to bring back to this area.
Absolutely, and you're interfacing with undergraduates and now graduate students.
That's exactly right.
That's tremendous.
And our graduate students, we've got some 40-year-old graduate students.
Right, and some great professors and great both undergraduate and graduate professors, even some of them overlapping, which is very exciting.
Right. Occasionally they'll let me in a classroom, so that's a lot of fun as well.
Anything in particular that you love trying to get across to students, something that you found that they're starting to really grip and take on?
I think my best lesson for them is to not get too impatient about deciding what they're going to do with their lives because
they've got time.
Just try hard at everything and enjoy the experience and don't worry too much about where it goes.
That's great. You've got family in the area, Harold?
Well, just a wife now. My kids are pretty much flown the coop, and so.
Where are they?
Well, I have a son and a daughter in the Charleston area.
Oh, good.
The daughter's about to finish her residency in internal medicine at MUSC, and then I have a son and a daughter-in-law. My only chance at grandchildren at this point
just yet, yeah,
are up in Richmond. And,
oh, good. So they're spread in a tri-state area.
Away.
Yeah, close at hand.
That's
close
exactly
at hand.
Right.
Well, that's very exciting. Thank you again, and you've given me some good fodder for General Reed. Next week, it'll make the interview much easier. Thanks for being with us this morning.
Thank you, Greg. Nice
Absolutely.
to be here.
Stay tuned to more Harold Stowe coming up next. Think of these three key words: public benefit conveyance. Public benefit conveyance. You didn't think you'd wake up on a Thursday morning and be hearing those three words: public benefit conveyance. Think about the tremendous beneficiaries here: the county, the city, of course, the Coastal Carolina Association of the Red Cross. So many folks throughout Horry, Georgetown Technical College. If you take the time to get on Faro Parkway, either from the former back gate or from the former front gate of the Air Force Base, you'll see public benefit conveyances in example all throughout this beautiful 3-4 mile stretch of Faro Parkway, driving through some incredible tracts of land which will turn into a thriving urban village in years to come. In addition, how often do you see a political appointment by a Republican governor that's reappointed by a Democratic governor that's reappointed by a Republican governor? It doesn't happen often. You've got to have some level-headed, even-keeled folks where that would actually take place. It happened here. Harold Stowe, the first chairman of the Myrtle Beach Air Base Redevelopment Authority. Normally in the morning we're giving out a phone number to call. There's no phone numbers to call here. The excitement has occurred over the last 14 years as the Myrtle Beach Air Force Base has been redeveloped, and this amazing group doing so much day in and day out to make a difference for this tremendous area.